You're watching Let's Chat.
Make sure and mark your calendar. Coming up here almost before you know it, it is time for Dancing with the Stars again. This benefits some great folks up in the Ocoee Valley area, Benton in particular, the Boys and Girls Club. Joining us to talk more about that is Holly Stroud. Holly is the unit director for the Boys and Girls Club in Benton. So first of all, Holly, good morning. We're glad you're here.
Good morning.
Dancing with the Stars. You guys did this last year. How many years have you done this?
So the first year was 4 years ago,
4
technically, and then we've had two, and then we had this one that's happening now planned for last year, but with COVID, we rescheduled it.
And our own Jess Raby was involved in, I'm not sure if it was last year or year before, but she did a great job. The whole thing's about raising a lot of money, and I did not know Jess Raby could dance as well as she did.
She did wonderful, yes.
She absolutely did.
She did.
You've got some other very talented dancers, 7 in fact, who are going to be hitting the dance floor, all to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club. Tell me exactly what the Boys and Girls Club, your unit in particular, does.
Okay, so we are from Polk County in Benton, Tennessee. And of course, it's a rural community, Boys and Girls Club. Most of the time when you think Boys and Girls Club, you think inner city or larger cities. And they've recently just started branching out into rural communities. And in Polk County, you know, it's a small community, 3 schools, 4 schools, you know, and we provide a place for these kids to come and be safe.
I was going to ask you how the needs differ from a rural community as opposed to one that is targeted towards the inner city.
So, you know, in an inner city, it's more, you've got a lot more kids, you know, they've got a lot to do, and so you're trying to pull them in to keep them out of the bad. Whereas in Polk County, there's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. You know, there's no movie theaters or, you know, there's nowhere to shop. It's
right.
just country. And so, you know, what these kids do for fun a lot of times is, or they're home by themselves, you know, you really don't know. They're just out riding the roads in their cars.
Latchkey kids.
Yes, yes. And so we kind of provide a fun place for these kids to come, not have to stay home alone. Because, you know, in a rural community, like an inner city, but, you know, you have a lot of single parents, grandparents raising their kids, working parents. And so we provide that place for parents not to have to feel like they have to leave work early. They get to come to us. We do homework help, and we do life skills, and we just do healthy habits and so many things that make these kids better.
I was going to say life skills and social skills.
Yes.
What you're doing up in your unit is really heads and tails over what a lot of other similar organizations do. I mean, it teaches them peer pressure, how to handle it, how to work with it, how to deflect against it maybe. It also teaches them how to play well with others, which this day and time is so vitally important.
Yes, it is. Yes, sir.
You're in the process of building a gym, and Jess and I have talked about this periodically over the past few years. Where does that project stand now?
So we actually have a structure. We have a concrete floor and structure. We're in what we call phase 1. Mm-hmm. So with COVID, you know, we had a concrete slab poured, and we had hired the construction workers to come in, and they started, and COVID just kind of cut us off.
Right.
You know, and so it's kind of gotten back, but it's still a slow process, you know, because now building materials have gone through the roof. And so we're at a point now to where we're going to add a little cost because of building materials. And so we're finishing up phase 1, which is pretty much the structure with the electrical and the walls and the, you know, of course, the whole. Right. And then we'll start phase 2. We're just now bidding phase 2, and we're getting a new contractors for phase 2. And that puts everything on the inside.
And you guys, of course, are accepting donations outside of Dancing with the Stars. Yes. If you've got a construction company, if you've got a flooring company, an electrical outfit, give Holly a call. They can certainly use all the donations you can get. Holly, you and I will be talking again here over the coming weeks. And again, it's coming up Saturday, June the 5th, and it is going to be at the Museum Center at 5 Points.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
All right. Get involved. Help these folks out. You can find out more by calling 423-299-9057. That's 299-9057. And the website is bgcocoee.org, bgcocoee.org. Holly, thank you again. We thank you for joining us as well. We've got an action-packed show planned out tomorrow. If you're not going to be here, you better watch it.
Okay.
You better watch it as well. See you tomorrow at 10.